machine that executes at the highest level.
That's where we pump sell billions of dollars of real estate.
The chasing business, now all of a sudden I was attracting that.
You're gonna get a lot of no's before you get that first yes.
You're not doing consistent.
You're everywhere all the time. People will take you. You have to outproduce your problems.
It has everything to do with the mindset and the discipline.
Don't try to be making a withdrawal before you've made a deposit.
Focusing on the quality, not the quantity.
Continue to move forward and grow.
What is up, Every Agent Wins fam? Today we have another fantastic show for you. We have the number 7 team lead in all of the ATL Atlanta, Mrs. Glenda Baker. Glenda is a tycoon at the agent-to-agent referral. She does a ton of business through agent-to-agent referral by finding people who do business just like her. She takes a ton of notes and really dives into what people like and talks about them more than she talks about herself. She's also going to go into how she creates so much business, well, just simply by being herself, but giving gifts. She does this by using an intake form and also diving deep into what people really like and what's good for them. And then we want to also talk about how she builds raving fans. And when she gives gifts, she gives it in 3 different ways. She's going to compliment, she's going to console, or she's going to congratulate. These are the 3 events where she gives gifts and it works out tremendously. So get back with us after these messages from our sponsor.
So you're a new agent. You don't know where to start. You've done typical agent things like cold calling.
Have you ever thought of selling your home? Hello? Tom?
Hi, looking to sell your home?
And doing open houses. You're not making any progress. So you download the Bellwood Agent and you follow directions provided. You find a seller. Bellwood likes the house. Within a few days, you get an accepted contract. You show the house. Bellwood buys the house. You get paid. You relist the property once flipped. You sell the property. You get paid again. You did this with no knowledge or experience. Rinse and repeat.
Hey, Tom. Still looking to sell your home? Bellwood's buying.
What's up? What's up? What is going on, everybody? This is Ronnie, and this is the Every Agent Wins show, where we're bringing on the top real estate talent on the planet. And today we have Glenda Baker from the ATL. How are you, Glenda?
I am amazing, Ronnie. Thanks so much for having me today.
Oh my gosh, I can't get over how great you're doing on TikTok, and you're crushing every single platform. So thank you so much for giving back and teaching us all the real estate tactics.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Yes. So definitely I want to dive into a little bit who you are, what you do, how you go about your business and your day. So if you could, and I know you're the number 7 real estate team in Atlanta, which is amazing. Congratulations. So dive into a little bit about you and where you came from and how you got here.
So my name is Glenda Baker. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I am a real estate agent, and I have been selling real estate since Jesus was a baby. So 28 years. Almost 28 and a half, actually. And I actually got started in real estate. I designed and manufactured ladies' clothing here in Atlanta. And I just absolutely hated that business. The people were so mean. And so I called my mom one day and I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And she goes, Pumpkin, you need to be a real estate agent. And I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody's going to buy a house from me. She's like, everybody will buy a house from you. So sure enough, I went and I was going to get licensed. And I was like, I need a paycheck every week. I cannot be a commission-only salesperson because, like, what if I never sell anything?
Right.
So I went and interviewed with these ladies. I mean, these ladies, there were like 3 ladies and they were like soldiers. I mean, they were just like stiff. And I mean, they were hardcore real estate. And I sat down and I'm like 10, maybe 12 minutes into this interview. And this one lady says, that's enough. And I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, you're way too bubbly. We will never hire you. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I was in shock. I was like, she did not just say that to me. And she's like, you can leave now. And I was like, oh Lord. So then I went and met with these other 2 ladies, and the interview went great. They loved me. I knew they loved me. I was like, this is awesome. So the next day she calls me. She's like, "Hey, Glenda, it's Irene." I'm like, "Hey, Irene." She's like, "We love you." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I love you guys too." She's like, "We're not going to hire you." And I'm like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Yeah." She's like, "We don't want to train our competition and you're not going to be an assistant for long." And I was like, "Oh, wow. Okay." So literally I drove down the street. I found this brokerage. I walked in the door. I had been reading this book because back in the olden days, you went down to get licensed at the state college with a pencil. And it was like 2 weeks between the time you took your test and the time you got licensed. So I had been reading this book, How to Develop a Six-Figure Income in Real Estate by Mike Ferry. And so I had done everything. I had gone through for sale by owners. I had reached out to all my friends. I told them I was going to, be an agent. They could buy or they could sell, whichever one was fine. And do you know that I went to this, I had 5 listings. I had 5 people ready to list their house with me. And I go to this broker and I'm like, "Hey, I need to be a real estate agent." She's like, "Okay." I'm like, "I have 5 people that want to list their house with me." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah, I read this book. It says, tell everybody that you're going to be a real estate agent. They can buy or they can sell, whichever one is fine with you. And 5 people are going to list their house with me." She's like, "You're joking." I'm like, "Nope." She goes, "You're hired." And so sure enough, I got my license September 13th. And by December, I was agent of the month.
That is incredible. I think that's such a testament to that you're just such a genuine person. I can tell just by speaking to you that you're so genuine and you're just so kind-hearted. So I would list my house with you. So great job. That's awesome.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind of a ride. I'll tell you, from being the last person picked on the playground to finding like what your niche is. It just really, like, when I found out that I could be like good at real estate, I was like, wow, it just was so awesome. And it's such an honor to be able to impact people's lives the way we do as agents. I mean, that's the thing that I think that a lot of agents like miss, like how impactful their service is to the consumer.
It really is. It's such a big gift that we can give back to these people and make a great experience. And I want to dive into, you have a great experience that you do give, but number one thing I really want to get out of you, because I've been following you and I want to find out your agent to agent referral program. I know you are crushing it. And I hope you and I can send some agent to agent referrals, but I think that is something that I definitely want to hear about. So if you could dive into that, that'd be great.
So Ronnie, I'll tell you, like this week, today's Friday, we have already had 4 agent to agent referrals this week. And they're from all over the place. And so if you say to me, like, "Glenda, like, how did you get them?" So 3 of those agent to agent referrals were not from the agent that I knew. So somebody knew me in the office, somebody knew me in the company, and an agent put out an email and said, "I'm looking for an agent in Atlanta." And 3 of the 4 were, "Hey, I know this girl, Glenda, call her." And what's amazing is 2 of the 4 are their children. So, when somebody's trusting you with their kids,
oh yeah,
like,
that's a home run. That's a home run.
That is like the deepest connection. So I think that what's really important for agents is, number one, kind of find people that are an extension of you and your brand, that do business like you do business. Because if I meet somebody at a convention, or I meet somebody through Facebook or through a mastermind group, and they're kind of that hit it and quit it, roll through the deals, discount, whatever, throw the mud up against the wall, that's probably not the agent that is an extension of my brand. And I'm not an extension of theirs.
Right.
So what I really try to do is I try to find people that do business like me, number one, so they can appreciate me and they trust giving me the referral. So number one, you find people that are like you. Number 2, you go deep on the connection. So the thing about it is that when I meet somebody, I keep copious notes of everything about them, their eye color, their favorite color, and just in general conversation, because Ronnie, we're chit-chatting it up. "Oh my gosh, are you like a steak and potato guy? Are you vegan? Like what's your deal?" So just in general conversation, and all along, I'm always keeping those mental notes. I go back to my phone, and in your phone and your contact information, I put down, you got a wife, you got 2 kids, you eat vegan, you're on keto. What is your favorite food? What is your favorite drink? Where do you like to travel to? So then that way, the next time that I talk to you, I have the ability to speak intelligently to you about something that matters to you.
That is amazing. You just hit it on the head right there. And I think this is the secret sauce. So if you have a pen, write this down, is take notes on people because they want to hear about themselves. They don't want to hear about you, right?
No.
They don't want to hear about you.
Nobody cares about you. I mean, it's the truth. Nobody cares about you. They all take an interest in people that interest you. And for me, I'm not trying to hit every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I want to take an interest in people that I'm interested in. And so it's very easy. It comes very naturally to like compliment you on your beautiful eyes, to know about your family, to know about the area where you're from, and to connect the dots so that you seem familiar to them. And so for me, I never will forget, somebody gave me a gift one time, and this gift screamed them. It was nothing I would ever use in my home. It was nothing. I mean, like, if you want to talk about regift, it was literally at the top of the pile of regift. And the thing about it is I think that when we're monogramming stuff with our logo on it and sending it out to clients, that's not what they're looking for. Like, we do like their initials, we do their favorite color, like everything that their favorite. Are they wine drinkers? Are they beer drinkers? Are they not drinkers at all? Like, where's their favorite restaurant? And all of that we get in either an intake form or in a conversation. And so keeping those notes about people is super duper important, whether they're an agent or a client, because another agent in Sacramento, you are now my client.
100%. 100%. That's a phenomenal way to think of things. And I think a lot of people, and including myself, I will definitely get better after this conversation at that. And I think there's a lot of dropping the ball on that. And I think you're hitting it right on the head. So there is a third piece to this. What's the third piece?
So after you get the referral, you want to keep them in the loop, because they've got like leverage with the client. The leverage is the client's already trusted them to give the referral. So keeping them in the loop and making them a part of the transaction only cements that relationship. And also, we want to acknowledge that you gave us the referral, and we acknowledge it when you give it to us, not when we capture it, when you give it.
Right.
Because the reward isn't based on us getting the listing. The reward is based on you thinking of us. So we always send an acknowledgement immediately. Thank you so much for thinking of us. We really appreciate it. This is where we are with Ronnie. This is where he is in the transaction. And we celebrate every milestone along the way with the client that referred the agent. Referred the client.
Right. Now, is this a text? Is this an email? Is this a handwritten note? How do you go about that?
We always email everything.
Okay.
We always email everything, because then that way we have a record of it. I want to make sure that my team has done exactly the way I want it done, that they kept you in the loop. But what's really, really important, and this is the thing that I learned from Jesse Itzler. He's one of the owners of the Hawks. That's the basketball team here in Atlanta. He went to this basketball camp at Duke with Coach K, and every summer for like old guys. And after his first time that he went, he sent him a quick text message and said, "Hey, I just want to thank you so much for taking your time. I really appreciate you, blah, 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 blah." So he sent him this quick text. And when he first went, this was before he was like really super famous. He said the next year when he went, who was the first person that Coach K came up to was him. And that's because Coach K felt that familiarity, because he had reached out on a personal level. People do business with people they know that they're familiar with. And the more you communicate with somebody, the more familiar you become, period.
That is hands down one of the best things that I've heard all day long and all week long. That is great. Good job. So you touched a little bit on client experience, and I definitely want to dive into that, because I know, and I've interviewed some of the top real estate agents literally on the planet, and I hear consistently is, yes, going out and getting new leads is great, right? Going out and people pay for leads is great. But when you have people that already are your raving fans and know, like, and trust you, and you pour back into them, your business is going to absolutely explode. And I think that is something that you are just crushing right now.
You know what? My love language is gifts, period. So it comes very naturally to me. And I love loving on people. That is really it makes me feel good. It makes other people feel good. And I just have found like my little sweet spot there. Mm-hmm. So you compliment, console, or congratulate. Those are the 3 times that you have the opportunity to develop a foundation of rapport with somebody. You compliment, console, or congratulate. Okay. So you graduated from law school, your kid graduated from high school, your birthday, your anniversary, you had a baby, your dog died, you got a new dog. Anytime that there is an event, a life event that you can console, congratulate, or compliment, you need to do that. So we used to do like an hour of power where we would call expireds and for sale by owners and all that kind of stuff. Now we take that hour and stalk our clients on all social media because everybody puts the stuff that they want everybody to know on social media. Nobody put that their kid graduated from kindergarten because they don't want anybody to know. Brilliant. So the kid graduates from kindergarten. The little kid, 5 years old, is there in the little cap and gown. We literally grab that picture, put it in a frame, send it out.
That's amazing.
Handwritten note. So back when COVID started and a lot of our clients were at home with their kids, we did puzzles with family photos on the puzzles or a picture of the kid. If it was one kid, we do a picture of the kid on the puzzle. And so we did these puzzles and sent those because people were sitting at home. What the heck were they going to do? We also do a lot of baked goods. My name is Glenda Baker. Mm-hmm. And so this one little boy who never picked me on the playground, he used to always say, Glenda Cake Baker, Glenda Cake Baker, there's Glenda Cake Baker. And so literally I had taken that little taunt from that kid from 2nd grade. And when I kind of latched onto these baked goods, I was like, I think this has got some legs on it. Mm-hmm. People trust people who give them food. What was the first thing your mother said to you? Don't take candy from a stranger. Don't take food from a stranger. Once somebody accepts food from you, you are no longer a stranger. Number 1. Number 2, you send them something sweet. You send them something good. They associate you with that taste, with that feeling. So number 1, you're not a stranger and you're associated with something yummy. That builds a rapport. It goes deep. And for us, it's all about going deep in the relationship because the deeper the dive, the bigger the ripple.
The psychology behind that is literally amazing. That is such an amazing tactic right there. How you broke that down. That is great. Good job.
Good. I hope it came across because I want it to be very tactical. Now, not everybody is into baked goods. It's so funny. I have a friend.
Everybody's into baked goods. Stop.
Well, I don't know if they are. I think they are, but I sent some to this guy and he was on this big keto thing. And in the card I wrote, Dear Jason, I was going to send you broccoli or celery, but it just didn't ship as well. And he just started dying laughing. He's like, but Glenda, the girls in the office love you.
Right.
So that's the thing is he may not have eaten those cupcakes, but all the girls in his office ate those cupcakes. So anytime that somebody's going to Atlanta, who do you think that they're thinking about? Us.
Absolutely. No, that's phenomenal. And so you do this same exact situation for the realtors that send you business too.
We do. So we do. So remember, you are now my client. Mm-hmm. Just like you bought a house from me, the agents that we're in relationship with, we treat just like we treat somebody who's a buyer or seller.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. No one does that. Nobody does that.
Well, and the thing about it is that, I mean, how many potential referrals are we going to get from an agent versus how many times is somebody going to buy and sell throughout their life. So really, it's silly not to take that opportunity and develop that same relationship with agents that are an extension of your brand, that you're an extension of their brand, because it gives you the opportunity to do business with them.
Yeah, that is brilliant. I love that so much. That you hit it again. You hit it out of the park again. So I know you're staying in front of people in a very high manner on social media. So I want to dive into a little bit on your social media. And I really, really want to hit on the head how you are just annihilating TikTok right now. How many views did you tell me you have?
So we just crossed 5 million views.
Oh my God.
But this is what's crazy is like, so we've got 5 million views. We've got 50,000 followers, but we've got almost 500,000 hearts. And I want to say that we have almost 100,000 comments. So the engagement percentage on TikTok is insane.
Insane.
I mean, it is absolutely insane to me.
It's insane. So, and I want to dive in because I think this is a great thing is, hang on one second. I want to dive in and talk about what you talk about on your TikTok. And if somebody's going to start a TikTok and they think this would be like a great thing to do and it can get them business, where can they start and how can they get going? Because I know it was a little intimidating to me at first too.
Hello, I'm like 1,000 years old. It is so like literally like who wants to watch some middle-aged real estate agent in Atlanta, Georgia on TikTok? I am not Addison Rae.
5 million people do.
Well, but I'm telling you, be yourself. When I first started, I did a dance and I was like, Victoria, this is so fucking, sorry.
You're told now, keep it going.
This is so stupid. Like Victoria, nobody wants to watch me dance. And so I was like, so then I started doing like behind the scenes and like, I would go through a house and I would see like some crappy renovation. And I would be like, okay, here are the top 3 things not to do when you renovate the kitchen. Mm-hmm. Like, don't leave the old hinges. Like, don't leave the yellowed,
bronze
outlet plates. I mean, it was just insane. And so like this one on faux finishes has like 600,000 views. Wow. So then I started like putting myself in front of the camera and just talking. So I looked at a bunch of different people. I looked at Gary Vee. Yeah. I looked at this guy's name's Matthew Hussey. He's a dating advice coach. And I loved like his like Frasier, like mic and interview style where he wasn't looking at the camera. He was like talking to somebody over here. I thought, oh, that's so cool. I really like that style. So I kind of picked up on that style for TikTok. So the most important thing is number 1, be yourself. Be yourself. Mm-hmm. Because I will tell you, it took me 50 years to understand that I needed to be comfortable being myself and let the people who like me for me. And the people who didn't like me, it got rid of them a lot quicker than keeping the fake people around. So be yourself on any social media and share your life. And my life is a lot about real estate. It's a lot about my family and it's a lot about my community. And so for me, that's what I talk about because number 1, I know a lot about those things. And number 2, I enjoy talking about them. And I want me to come through the lens. And I think that if I could give one piece of advice, it is, let yourself come through. Don't worry about how you sound or how you look or do you have your glasses or like half of my videos are me fixing my hair. Like it's great because I have this crazy hair and the weather's crazy here in Atlanta. So like who knows what it's going to look like on any given day. So I think that you be yourself, but I think that you are a real estate expert. Don't miss the opportunity to talk shit about real estate. That's what you get paid to do. 100%. Talk about it.
100%. No, I love that. And I love that that point right there is that you say, let yourself come through the lens. I think that's the greatest advice that you could give to somebody doing video because so many people try and be different than they would be on video. And we understand that it is an entertainment value, right? So you have to maybe give it a little bit more oomph. but
Yeah.
people know who you are, and the people that are going to give you business, they already know who you are. They know who you are. So if you're acting fake, they're going to see right through that.
Absolutely. You know, we had somebody comment on one of our videos, hey, we're relocating from Chicago to Atlanta. We want to work with you. And it was a comment in
Beautiful.
the TikTok.
That's amazing.
And I saw it and I'm like, holy crap, how do we get in touch with you? And I'm like, here's my phone number. Here's my email. And sure enough, within 3 minutes, the guy emailed me. They flew down from Chicago. They're looking at $700,000 houses. I'm like,
amazing.
Praise the Lord and pass the money.
It's not just a kid's platform, right? And that's what I think that's the misconception. It's not just a kid's platform.
No, and even if it is, I mean, like I was in AT&T the other day getting my new phone, and so they said, oh, well, you can wait for your stuff to download. And I'm like, okay, or you can leave. It doesn't matter. I'm like, oh, no, I'll wait. I just want to make sure it downloads properly. I said, I can work on my TikTok. And one of the people at the AT&T store, one of the employees, he goes, you're on TikTok? And I said, oh yeah, I'm a real estate agent. He goes, you're in real estate? I said, absolutely, I'm in real estate. He goes, and you're on TikTok? I'm like, yeah. He's like, what's your TikTok? So I tell him, you know, Glenda Baker, I spell it for him because it has 2 N's. And he's like, I'm in the market to buy a house. Buying his first house, $320,000, literally, because I literally talked about it right there. So no lie, this 12-year-old kid behind me says to his mom, he goes, that's the real estate agent. And I turn around and he's like, I follow your TikToks. You're hilarious.
That's
12
great.
years old. Noah,
That's
12
great.
years old. I'm like, oh my God.
That's great.
His parents, they're living in an $800,000 house here in East Cobb. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to start following you on TikTok. So do you think that that's not top of mind? And that's the thing, is that social media is a layering platform of credibility for people. It keeps you top of mind, and people are going to your social media to see your credibility as a real estate professional. So that's why personally myself, I think that while you need to be entertaining and fun, you need to be knowledgeable, because you know how to consume data and you know how to analyze it. Make sure that your audience sees that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. All right. So I want to ask you one more question before I give you the chance to plug yourself so we can get you some more referrals, because you are giving so much great information. If you had to give somebody some advice that could maybe change their life, who's one person that they could go follow or read a book about?
So I will tell you, the book that really hit home for me was The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy.
Great book.
I will tell you, the light bulb went off in my head when I read that book about how just building on one brick at a time was so important. And, you know, I'm on these 5 a.m. calls, and Sharon said the other day, Rome wasn't built in a day, but they laid bricks every day. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is it's like every day is a brick. Every day is a brick. And I think that just the compound effect and going deep and building on relationships, I think that that's really the secret sauce and the secret to success for a long life in real estate.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would agree with you. That is a fantastic book. If you haven't read that book, that is a must read. You can also audiobook it as well. All right. So now is your time. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Please give me your contact information and maybe a couple of handles that you have if somebody wants to follow you, so we can maybe filter some more agent referrals to you.
So Ronnie, I'm the most unanonymous person in the world.
Good.
So it's very simple. It's Glenda Baker, GLENNDABAKER. And it's Glenda Baker on everything. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can find me anywhere under Glenda Baker. Just Google me and I will pop.
Google her. That's awesome. You're so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And you are crushing the real estate game. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ronnie. I appreciate it. It's great to be here with you today.
All right. You take care.
You too.